Hello, cozy people. My name is Dane, and I got the chance to play the closed beta for Honkai Nexus Anima. I have been curious about this game, and I have played other Hoyoverse games in the past, so I was very excited to have this opportunity. I played the beta for almost 4 hours, and here are my initial thoughts about this new game. I will do my best to avoid spoilers in this review, so have no fear, and let's get into it. Honkai Nexus Anima begins with a quick character creator where you choose your gender and beginning stats before getting thrown into the story. You play as a character with amnesia, yes, Hoyo is at it again with the blank canvas characters, and memory loss protagonist. You live out a day with your friend Darcy that seems seemingly perfect. After doing a few errands and fun excursions with your friend, you start to realize that this world that you're living in might not be what it seems. You meet a mysterious character with bread for a head called Breadhead, and you follow quests to play through the beginning prologue. Similar to past Hoyo games, this beginning section took me about an hour before ending with an epic fight scene. This is just a teaser for future fights in this massive game. I could definitely see the Star Rail influence with the epic music paired with these cinematic fight scenes. The game presents its magic system and introduces the anima rather quickly. It also gives a very rough backstory to what has happened without spoiling kind of the major plot points and backstories because I want you guys to experience this on your own. SparkNote's version is you, the player, had some crazy stuff happen 200 years ago, which resulted in you being trapped in this alternate reality called the Lotus Realm. Due to the events that happened years ago, the world is split into these different planes, and we ended up getting these really cute anima, which are kind of made up of energy and magic. And some crazy characters who knew you from 200 years ago show up and are definitely upset with you. I'm gonna leave the rest of this for you to uncover through the main story, and that's kind of the premise of the game, is you're trying to figure out your memories and you're trying to figure out who you were in the past and who you are right now. The gameplay in Honkai Nexus Anima is a mix between open-world exploration, creature collection, and idle combat. I do wish that the combat sections where you battle animas and other characters was a little bit more engaging. It seems like this will be a major part of the gameplay loop. Right now, in the early game, combat consists of watching your anima auto-battle on their own, and you occasionally click a card to generate a short cutscene, only to go back to watching your characters auto-battle. Judging by the platforms and the visual layout of these battle arenas, I do suspect we'll get additional effects to trigger, and player skill and timings will come into play a little bit later as you choose when to use your ultimates, but right now it really seems to come down to who has the higher level anima always wins. I feel like for Honkai Nexus Anima, turn-based battle may actually suit this game a little bit better. Hoyo has used turn-based in Honkai Star Rail, and I really enjoyed the combat in that game compared to the combat in Genshin. Since you have a team of up to 8 anima, then You could try to strategize or build more synergy with your team, or set up some buffs or debuffs for your side and the enemy side. And turn-based combat could be a lot more engaging than this auto battler setup they have right now. I know that that would be a massive overhaul of the system, but right now it doesn't feel as engaging as I feel like it could be. The open world exploration of the game is fantastic. A lot of people have been saying it's what they wish Pokemon was, with creatures that are just part of the world. My favorite part is seeing all the different anima with their owners, or wild anima that you can catch. It really does scratch that creature collector Pokemon itch. I didn't know going into this that we would be able to catch and train our own creatures based on the trailers and character profile posts leading up to this closed beta. I thought we would be rolling gacha to collect characters who were already paired with anima, so this is a very fun surprise that we get to search for our own little friends and build our teams as we go. What sets this game apart from other Hoyoverse games is this RPG stats aspect. When you create your character in this beta, you will have a choice of 3 predetermined stat arrangements. I'm predicting that in the full game release, you'll have a little bit more freedom in how you allot your skills to make a character that fits more you. Choosing between muscle head or nerd, ultimate nerd, was a very funny choice, so I ended up going with the muscle head just because the stats seemed a little bit more balanced. So I'm very interested to see how they flesh this part of the game out in the full release. Based on your skills and these stats accolades, throughout the game you'll have dialogue choices that are available depending on your stat, or sometimes they're unavailable. Since I did go with the muscle head, a lot of the intelligence-based answers I was not able to pick. Your stat distribution will also impact what questions you can ask or what actions you can take. I was definitely not expecting this RPG aspect. It definitely adds variety, and it makes me want to go back and choose other options in the story as you meet Nana Faye and Otto, since you, for reasons, end up in a new plane. You get to choose which character you want to stay with, and based off of this decision, it's kind of like a branching path in the story, so I definitely am curious about going back to seeing what happens if you choose the other options. We can't talk about a Honkai game without talking about the gacha element. As is tradition with other Hoyoverse games, there are 2 gacha banners in this game, one for anima and another for eidos. Anima, of course, are the little creatures that you bond with and use to battle and progress through the main story, and eidos are kind of like bonds you make with other people in the game. As you progress through the story, you'll get some eidos for free, like Breadhead, and other characters that I won't mention just due to spoilers, but this gacha does allow you to get higher rarity creatures and characters. The 2 banners offered in this closed beta do not reflect what will be offered in the full game. I personally didn't really use the anima gacha outside of the tutorial pulls that they have you do for the eidos and anima, and I only did 1 pull for each during my playtest because I didn't really find myself needing to use the anima gacha. As you explore around the world, there are plenty of creatures, including some that are included in the gacha, that you can just find on your own, and that exploration aspect and bonding with them in the wild is a lot more appealing than just pulling them from the gacha. I could see how the eidos banner would be a little more helpful. I wasn't able to pull one of the 5 stars available in this gacha. I got one of the 4-star dupes, but it'll be interesting to see how higher rarity characters will help you in your battles and what effects they have and what bonuses they give to certain anima. I did acquire some eidos for free during the story, and it seems like in addition to stats that each eidos gives to a specific type of anima, for instance, Breadhead is bonded with Mimu, a milk carton cat, bull, anima, and if you have a Mimu in your party as you're battling, that specific anima gets additional stats based off of the idos that you have, in this case, Breadhead. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how these 5-star idos and even later ones that you get throughout the story will change your battle strategies, and I can definitely see how you can make different teams surrounding different idos or different aspects that you want to use. Moving on to the characters for Honkai Nexus Anima, this game features a mix of both original and recurring characters from past Hoyoverse games. This is especially fun for returning players to see familiar characters, but in entirely new situations. But it's also nice that new players don't need prior knowledge in order to understand and enjoy the characters. So far, we have seen Blade and Kiana, who are recurring characters from Honkai 3rd Impact and Star Rail, but the majority of the time is actually spent with new characters to the game. Nanafe and Odo find you after you fall from the sky, and we spend the majority of the time in the game with these two characters. I really loved their banter back and forth. It's really enjoyable to experience, and I really love the contrast between Nanafe's extremely bubbly personality and Otto's more serious, kind of aloof personality, but we can definitely already see that there's layers to these characters. I'm especially interested in Otto's backstory. We've kind of gotten a little glimpse here or there, so there's definitely gonna be more to explore about these new characters. I didn't get a chance to see what Otto's home looks like, but Nanafe's room is adorable. I love it so much. I'm not sure of the characters' ages. Everyone is kind of ageless in these games, but her home and the decor made me feel like she was a sophisticated young adult who still retains a lot of her whimsy, and I love that for her. I got to explore her apartment a little bit, and it was so cute to see all the starlights and the coziness, but also she has like the world's biggest apartment kitchen, which I was kind of jealous of. My apartment kitchen was definitely not this big. It was such a fun glimpse into how the character acts and who she kind of is. The emphasis in these first hours of the game is certainly on the anima, and we've only been introduced to some secondary characters within Iya, so it's still early on to kind of get a feel for what other characters are going to be like. But going off other games by Hoyo, I know we're going to be meeting some very fashionable and epic characters. And finally, we get to talk about the elephant in the room, or the anima in the game, these adorable creatures. These are the basis of this creature collecting game, and we have definitely seen a rise of the creature collecting genre. With the success of Palworld, we now have the Palworld's 1.0 release coming up, but we also have Animo, a very similar open world character collecting game that actually has a lot of aspects similar to Nexus Anima. Anima are mysterious energy-made creatures that can use magic, and they appeared in the world after a huge catastrophe caused by the mysterious World Ender. They take the shape of supernatural animals that coexist with people, and I already love all of the designs that I've seen. We have this adorable puppy seal ramen bowl, and a pudding dog. I would die for them. And some anima around the world are already bonded with other characters, even nameless NPCs, but there are plenty more that are in the wild and ready to be captured. To catch an anima or bond with them, you have to connect with them and battle them. After succeeding in battle, you use these magical schemes to capture the anima, but this is based on a completely random chance, and there doesn't seem to be any way of influencing that percentage. There are different types of schemes, from the basic, which has the lowest percentage, to a special rainbow one, which guarantees a catch. But other than that, it can be really frustrating to watch the percentage jump to 65% and then you still not get the little dude. Just as the characters and items that you collect, anima can also be leveled up by using materials, and there is a benefit to catching multiple of each anima. There's a mechanic called rapport that unlocks based on how many duplicates of an anima you catch. Each one will give you certain shards, and unlocking these rapport levels give you additional stats or additional abilities that your anima can use in battles. There are also chromatic or shiny versions of the anima that you can find in the wild. As far as I can tell, this is strictly cosmetic with no difference, but seeing the different variations is very cute, and I love that you can just switch between them very easily, so you can have an entire team of shiny anima, or you can just choose your favorite colors. Right now, I feel like most of the creatures are tailored to be super adorable, so it'll be interesting to see if there are edgier creatures or if anima evolutions cater to people who don't just want a strawberry shortcake fox or a red panda dipped in icing. Don't get me wrong, these are by far my absolute favorite. Let me know below which of these anima you have your eye on, and they have definitely done a fantastic job with designing the creatures. The creature collecting is definitely a pull for this game. It's definitely a very big plus. So seeing that the team has put so much care into the character designs as well as the anima designs is fantastic. After playing the closed beta for several hours, I have definitely enjoyed my time with the game, and I'm looking forward to playing even more during this closed beta window. The game is fully voiced, which is fabulous, and the voice acting is excellent. I particularly loved the acting for the character Amorphiron, and I was surprised to see that the character Parayaya actually had a kind of British accent. These kind of games don't typically have accents for their characters, so it's really fun to see that they're starting to branch out and starting to add a little bit more to these character designs.
Kill him, won't you?
I am not your blade, Lord of Hate. I came here for one person alone. The time has come to pay for your sins, World Ender.
Both of you are old friends of hers. There'll be, so much time for you to chat later, so surely you can spare me this one little bitter moment.
Oh, that won't do at all. Every one of us has an awful lot we'd like to say to her.
My, positively frosty. Here I was, foolishly thinking the three of us had started to build some camaraderie.
I'm not sure if it was just due to the closed beta or not, but I didn't see a section for side quests or daily quests, and I expect those to be added in the full release, but it would help to flesh out the game. Most of the gameplay is centered on just a narrative main story, and I didn't feel like there is as much opportunity for me to just explore freely on my own or get to know other characters, and side quests would definitely help with this aspect. This game will be a gacha and it will have in-game microtransactions. While I personally don't have an issue with gacha games and have played quite a few over the years, I know this is kind of a point of contention, especially within the cozy gaming space and general gaming space. It's unclear if this game will have any sort of PvP that pushes the meta and really incentivizes pulling on the top banners, but for now it seems extremely free-to-play friendly. Overall, I had a wonderful time playing. It definitely has a different feel from Genshin and Star Rail, which really push their fantasy and sci-fi genres, and it's kind of refreshing to have a game set in what kind of looks like modern day life, but with these magical creatures walking around. I do hope we get to travel to other regions and cities, and it certainly seems like they're going to be adding so many new places with the inclusion of these alternate planes of reality and existence. So it's going to be fun to see how this game evolves and how the full release looks compared to this closed beta. I'm also hoping we're going to see different variants or different regional varieties of anima, because I want to fill out this anima dex, and I have a need to collect all of these cute little creatures. Let me know what you think of this game, if you've heard about it before, if it's already on your radar, and be sure to subscribe for more cozy related content and game first looks. I also stream, so be sure to catch my content live. I hope everyone has a fantastic evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is for you, and I will see you guys in the Blanket Fort in the next one.